Oh yeah, it's that time, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Marilyn's Cafe Society radio show right here on YouTube. This evening, it is Saturday, November 9th, 2019. Of course, I'm your host, Marilyn, bringing it to you. It's a quick show for real tonight, I tell you. Um, been on the run, on the move all day. It was such a gorgeous day here in the Chicagoland area, everyone. Yeah, it's been cold, but today it warmed up a bit. The sun was shining so beautifully, and it was just nice to be out and about, mixing and mingling with folks, and of course, visiting loved ones and all that good stuff. So, yeah, we're just going to pop in real quick and bring you this edition of the show. Well, guess what? You know it. We're back on our standard time. How do you feel about that? You know, that was last week's cafe talk. Do you want to stay on daylight savings time, or do you prefer going back to standard time and staying? The whole point of daylight savings time is to um, expand the daylight. I guess it conserves energy and so much else in the summer months when things are warm and people tend to use more electricity to cool things off. So, when we get back into fall, October, November, um, it's back to the standard time. So, again, the question is, do you prefer standard time or do you prefer daylight savings time? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Now, no one really chimed in on social media, but I did run across a few people during the week who saw it and wanted to chat it up. And many thought that the daylight savings time was a better choice than standard time. I'm still trying to figure it all out, to be quite honest, because at some point, I know during this time, standard time, our days are shorter, right? When I say days are shorter, I mean the daylight is, the time that we have with natural light, sunlight, is shorter. But as we get closer to spring, as winter winds down, we do start adding more light to our day. So is there really a need? Is it really necessary to spring ahead in the spring and go to daylight savings time? I'm still trying to figure it all out. But many folks just, said that they would prefer the daylight savings time just to stay on that schedule and year round. In fact, I did read where some states or municipalities are trying to have laws changed so that they don't have to participate in the back and forth, spring forward in the spring and fall back in the fall with the time adjustments. They just want one time and that's it. So we'll follow it and see how things develop. But again, I think the whole point of it was to try to get more daylight, especially during, I guess, the longer seasons, the spring and the summer and so forth. But anyway, enough of that. Yeah, you can still chime in on this topic if you'd like. You can go to the Facebook page. I posted it there as well as the Twitter page. All right, and so here we are moving into the big holiday season. But before we get there, we do have a very important holiday that's coming up on Monday. It's called Veterans Day. Have you heard of that? Yeah, Veterans Day will be celebrated on this Monday. It's always November 11th, but the day of the week can vary depending on what day the 11th falls on. So um, yeah, make sure that you show some appreciation to some of the veterans that are still here. It's still a big fight for veterans. Did my card fall? I'll straighten that out a little bit. It's still a big fight for some of our veterans who aren't getting some of the assistance that they need. And we've come a long way with the treatment of veterans, but there's still a long way to go. So the very least we can do, if you don't attend some of the celebrations and ceremonies that are going to be happening to honor veterans in the next couple of days, the very least we could do is when we see a veteran is recognize them and salute them, right? All right, so let's make sure we do that. And we do want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there who may be tuned in to the show, or even if you're not. All right, so are you ready for some on this day in history? Wow, on this day in history in 1989, the Berlin Wall came down. Yes. Now, that wall reportedly was 12 feet high and 27 miles long, and it divided East and West Germany after World War II ended. Now, the whole reason for the wall was to keep people from leaving the communist East Germany. West Germany was a democracy, people were free, the war was over, and so folks from East Germany were trying to escape and flee and go to West Germany. And so the government, the East Germany government, decided they wanted to keep their people over there, so they built this wall, and it stayed there for decades. And so, of course, today, being Saturday, November 9th, 2019, marked the 30th year anniversary. And it's being reported that European leaders gathered in Berlin, Germany to celebrate the historic significance of the wall coming down some 30 years ago. And of course, it represented the end of communism and, of course, gave hope to the reunification of the country. Now, German Chancellor Angela Merkel was present amongst other leaders, and she spoke about the importance of continuing to fight for human rights, equality, freedom, democracy, and tolerance. And that word tolerance bothers me, folks. Personally, I prefer the word inclusion over tolerance because inclusion means acceptance and welcoming, where tolerance is more, carries a negative connotation of you just kind of going along with someone, because when we speak about freedoms and equalities and human rights, we're usually talking about people rather than things, right? And so when you say you're tolerating someone, that just rubs me the wrong way. Um, so you just kind of go along with that person's presence, whether it's, tolerating the color of their skin, or tolerating the language that they speak, or tolerating just who they are. You're going along, but you don't really accept that person in your heart. So I don't like that word tolerance. And I hope that, when we get these people out who are speaking about doing away with the whole notion of intolerance, that we come up with a better word like inclusion. I just like that word better. All right, enough of that. But that was on this day in history. Yeah, I started it with reminding you that in 1989, on this day in history, the Berlin Wall came down, and then I brought you up to speed with what happened today for that 30th anniversary, and just kind of touch bases on some of the language that was used in addressing the crowds of people who were there to celebrate that historic moment in history when that wall came down. I remember that was in 1989. I was half paying attention to some of the news stories that were being reported. Not a lot, but that was a big one. Okay, cafe news, real quick. This one caught my eye, and it'll be the only news story, business news story that we talk about tonight. I'm going to keep it really brief tonight, folks. But This past spring, we read about the fact that after a 10-year decline, the Chicago based Johnson Publishing Company closed its doors. Now, there was some good news in that report in that its two flagship publications continue. Jet Magazine is exclusively available online, but we can still get Ebony in print. And then this past August, it was reported that the Getty and Ford Foundations purchased the historic archives of the publications for an estimated $30 million. Now, a lot of people were up in arms about this because the Johnson Publishing Company's um, collection of photographs were exclusively owned by them, African Americans, and now these foundations jumped in to make them available. You know, the collection is going to go, most of the collection is going to go to Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture. That's a good thing, you know, but it was just a hard thing to digest, I guess. Of course, this money was raised to take care of some financial obligations that Johnson Publishing Company had, and I guess the collection of memorabilia and historic photographs and so forth are in good hands, but it's still kind of hard to swallow, right? Well, the latest news, the Chicago Sun-Times is reporting today that Fashion Fair, which is another iconic business under the umbrella of the Johnson Empire, was purchased to a group of investors that include Desiree Rogers and Cheryl Mayberry McKissack. And they are both former Johnson Publishing Company executives. So I guess that's good, right? Now, for those who don't know, Fashion Fair was once the largest black owned cosmetic company in the world. And I see some great things happening for that cosmetic line. And I just can't wait to see what the ladies do with it. So stay tuned, everybody. I just wanted to bring you up to speed with what's happening there. All right, let's take a quick look at the stock market before we wrap up. Um, it looks like the Dow, the S&P 500, and NASDAQ were all up today. The Dow was up 6.44 points, the S&P 500 up 7.90 points, and the NASDAQ was up 40.80 points. Now, stocks that are doing well include Walt Disney up $5. Monster Beverage was up $1.52. Exxon Enterprise was also up $12.88. Now, those who suffered some loss as of the close of the bell last night was Gap Inc. They're down $1.38. And they're saying that it may have something to do with their CEO resigning. But so we'll see what happens with Gap Inc. You know, it's that retail apocalypse that's happening right now. So we'll watch the Gap and see what happens. Others that aren't doing so well include Live Person Inc. They're down $5.34 now. That's a customer service technology company. So tech companies are faring well. Maybe this was just um, uh, a loss that was not anticipated. I'm not sure. And Altair Engineering Inc. is down $7.47. Our commodities and oil is up some 9 cents, up to $57.24, and gold is up $2.90, up to $1,461.30. And that wraps up our look at the stock market. All right. And there is no cafe talk today, but I'm always open. So if you want to go to the blog, which the blog was really good this past week again, entitled "'Tis the Season." And what triggered that blog was me being out and about in the stores in the past week and seeing some bad behavior. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Everyone's supposed to be happy this time of the year, right? Or at least moving towards the happy meter. But unfortunately, that is not what I witnessed, and so I addressed it in the blog. Go ahead and take a read if you'd like. You can find it at Maryland's Cafe Society on WordPress. Um, so where were we? Oh yeah. So anyway, I referenced Cafe Talk and thought about the blog. Just an update on the Christmas celebration plan. Still working it out, so stay tuned. Oh, I do want to announce the winner of the October Maryland's Countdown to Christmas giveaway. That winner is Tina K of Lockport, Illinois. Now, you can be a winner too, the next winner for the November Maryland's Countdown to Christmas giveaway. That's going to be given away on Saturday, November 23rd. And all you have to do is send an email to producer at marylandscafesociety.com with the message, I want to win. Or you can text or even call and say, I want to win, but be sure to leave your contact information so that we can reach out to you. You know, uh, under I want to win, you want to leave your name and your contact information. And that way, when we pull your name, we can reach you and let you know that you are the winner, okay? So again, producer at marylandscafesociety.com or text Maryland's 815-593-1695 or call 815-593-1695 and text the word or say, I want to win, and then leave your full name and your contact information so that we can let you know if you are, in fact, the winner for next month's drawing. Well, this month, this is November, for November's Maryland's Countdown to Christmas drawing, okay? All right, it's a good one. Um, that's it, everybody. I do want to remind you to catch me on Twitter from time to time, Maryland's Cafe Social on Twitter, Facebook, Maryland's Cafe Society, and the website, marylandscafesociety.com. Also blog on WordPress, Maryland's Cafe Society, and of course right here on YouTube, Maryland's Cafe Society. Before we go, I got to tell you what love is, and love is thoughts of you with my morning coffee. Isn't that sweet? So cute. Thoughts of you with my morning coffee. All right, and remember, everybody, if you don't do anything else this week, remember to live, to laugh, and love. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege, and we'll hang out again right here on Maryland's Cafe Society YouTube channel. All right, have a great week. Peace.